Welcome to Talent Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is February something. If I could go. The February 18, 2026. We are getting closer to 2K26 to come out, ladies and gentlemen. We have like 1 week? 1 week? And a little couple of days of today. That's March. I don't want March. February, it is the 18th. So today we have the week. It's a half a week of this week. So we have 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't really count March as a week because that's on a Friday. But people that want to get it until March 13th, that's going to be 2 weeks. I think the people that has on March 6th, because this is my math and how I count it. I don't count today because today is almost over. It is almost 12. It's 11:09. How am I doing this video? What the time I'm doing this video? So yeah, this day is almost over. And I don't count this week, I don't count this as a week because if it was a Sunday or it's a Monday, that's a week. But we only have 3 more days until, well, 4 more days until the next week happens. So I don't count that as a week. Okay, why you keep, I don't care, I'm not making events. I don't count that as a week, so we have 1 more week until 2K26 comes up. I'm just happy when March comes. When February 18 comes, that means we have 6 more days. Yes, technically we have 5 more days because I don't count the 6 because that's the day I'm waiting for. So we have 5 more days when February 28 happens. Speaking of 2K26, ladies and gentlemen, it was a... We got a whole bunch of things. Let's talk about the report they had here. Let's get rid of this one. That's a no surrender. I got too much tabs. 2K26... ringside report. Ringside report. For... I think it's this one. Here, let's go to 2K. Let's go to their website. Oh, it gives you a countdown. I just want to know the... Learn more. This is what they said about Universe Mode. There's a lot of things I don't understand about it because there's a lot of new things. So let's get to it. We got, when starting a new classic mode, save file, players can go straight into the Universe main menu or customize the experience. First, this new Universe mode, Universe Wizard, will allow players to choose which weekly shows and PLEs will be featured assigned superstars for each show, as well as their champions, and then decide which month. The calendar will start on when choosing which weekly shows to feature. Players can use the add new show option to import and already download or created show, or create one from scratch. For default, shows like Raw, SmackDown, and SmackDown players can edit other details, like the superstars on those rosters, championship divisions supported, and more. Each show can support to 8 titles. That's pretty cool. From the men's and the women's division, and the tag team titles, and the intergender supported championships, and along with 2 Money in the Bank briefcases. Alright, so I don't really know what that means. I think that if your game, for me, I don't like when my game restarts itself and I lose everything. So I'm guessing if you choose the option of classic mode, I think that's the one I choose every time. I don't like doing the superstar mode. I do the classic mode where you can make your own shows up and all that stuff. And I guess you could set it where you want to start off. Like if you're at WrestleMania week, you could go to WrestleMania week and start there. Even on SummerSlam, I was almost at WrestleMania before this whole my game restarted itself, some reason. So I could have go back to WrestleMania if that happened in 2K26. So I think that's what it means. I have no idea. I need to see what it means. Or if you have your own created universe mode, I guess it doesn't. I don't think it will go away. It will be saved in your file. Save file, players can go straight into the universe main menu or customize the experience. So, I guess if you lose your data or your save file or your game, whatever you call it, I forgot what it's called. Demonetize? No, that's YouTube. I forgot what it's called. Because I had it a couple of times on my game. Not on this game. I think it was called something different in 360. I had it multiple times happen on my game. So, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess you could go right straight to your save file. Because some people get upset that, oh, I lost my game. And you can get your save file. So, I think that's what it is. That's what I think. I don't know what other people say. But that's what I think. But the draft, this is the interesting draft. I like this draft, but I like to see, can you make it automatic? Because that's the draft I like. Like, I don't have to pick a list of people to be drafted. I like the way of how they're doing it, but I like to see if you can make it automatic. I don't think it tells you on here. One of the biggest new features of this year's universe is the addition of the WWE Draft. It's something our fans have been asking for, and we are happy to finally have it. Available for WWE 2K26 drafts are events. So, just like on 2K25, you have WWE Day 1 on a Monday Night Raw. It's an event. Just like you have tribute to the troops, you have some NXT shows as well. The special editions of the show. So now the draft will be a show. You will have your draft picks and you will have some matches. It's not going to be like the old school that, oh, Raw versus SmackDown and whoever wins they get a pick. No, it's not like that, but you will get matches. And then you will get draft picks. Like the regular draft that we had the last couple years. Where am I at? Asking, and we're happy to finally have it. Available drafts or events where participating shows, competing shows will be able to trade superstars from their rosters over an entire week. So you could have this draft happen on Raw and SmackDown, like the real life. Entire week, players can also create, edit, or remove drafts from their universe. To create a draft or when editing an existing draft on the calendar, players will be able to give it a name. So you can make your own draft. So if you're having your own, independent wrestling, or WCW or ECW, if you have two different brands, you could do that, and you could name it, and you have your own logos and stuff like that. You don't have to call it draft. It could be an old school draft. I think you could get, download some old school draft logo that they had a long time ago, like in 2009, I believe that, or 2010, something like that. You could have an old school. Maybe that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't know. The general managers will change, or you could change them. I have no idea, because they will go on the podium and say who they want in there. So yeah. Or when editing an executive draft, the calendar players will be able to give it a name and attach a logo to it before selecting which two shows will be part of it. See? Supplemental shows can also be set up as optional rosters, such as NXT. So if you have a third roster, they could be part of it. Making the roster one you can draft from Raw or SmackDown. The draft rounds, which can be adjusted in the settings, will take place during the respective show's match cards. A round takes the slots of a match on a card, and rules for draft picks, such as who cannot be drafted, can be set. The maximum number of drafts is 8. So you have 8 draft picks. And I saw some videos. They have the settings telling you who could be in there. If you want legends in there, if you want champions, if you want the current show guys, if you're having a current WWE, just WWE current, you could do that. You could have AEW as well. You could have TNA one. Anything you want. In WWE, now we got Money in the Bank cash-ins. They changed this one. I'm happy for it. No rival actions. No stupid button pushing. You had to push start and then go down and say cash in. You just had to push a button on screen. Your champion match, I don't know it will be a championship match, but when your champion's in a match, you just push a button. In WWE 2K16, we made some updates to how Money in the Bank cash-in works. For starters, no more Target championships. Meaning, Money in the Bank briefcase can be cashed in on any title on given show. As you can see in the image below, you push a button to cash in during matches. And then choose either to do it mid-match or post-match to keep things interesting. So now you could cash in on any title. So if you have like a mid-card superstar win the Money in the Bank and you know he won't never be a world champion, he doesn't have to defend the world title. He could defend the title. He could get the mid-card titles, the Intercontinental, the United States. If you're doing old school, Intercontinental, United States, European, stuff like that, hardcore title. They could cash in anytime they want on any title. And over here, they give you a button. I guess you push a button, and then it will tell you when you want to cash in. Mid-match cash in, you have to push RB and Y. Post-match cash in, you have to push RB and X. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there with work. Now we got promos. In our deep dive video, we mentioned that we have improved promos, so we wanted to provide a few more details on that improvements. So promos superstar can now make announcements that affect their enemies' future, such as turning heel or face, changing their division, and even switching over to a new show. So that's going to be interesting as well. So you could have announcements like if you want to win the Royal Rumble or something as their future, and turn heel, talk trash to the fans, and if you want to say that this person won the Royal Rumble, they choose the SmackDown title, and they're on Raw, they could choose to go on SmackDown. Call-out. Interrupt superstar options have been expanded to allow challengers to choose their match type or to challenge for a title, while champions can accept title challenges for the next PLE. Open challenges, these have been expanded to feature spontaneous title defenses. That's pretty cool. Now you could have a real title open challenge championship match, or you could get a pay-per-view match. Post-match interview, the winner of the match will have the option to announce a division change, discuss a no-one contenders match, or a title match. For the loser of the match, they can interrupt the winner's interview and either shake their hand, engage a brawl, or get into a stare down. So now you could have a, hold on guys. Whew. I just had to close my door more. It's really windy out, and my door is creaking because of wind. So I'm hoping I can fix that. So ladies and gentlemen, they have more promos for post-show match. So that's going to be interesting. For the rivalries. So there's more, for Universe Mode, there's sliders. I'm not a big fan of sliders because every time I do these sliders, I try to make it hard for myself, right? The pinning sucks because every time I do like a leg drop, I win. I try to make it not happen that I do like a small little move, not my finisher. I don't win. I'm trying to do that and try to keep people down longer because for some reason they don't stay down long. And the stun meter, I want to go down slowly. I don't want to go down fast because if I did a finisher, I don't want the guy to get up so fast. I want to try to feel like it's realistic, right? That's what I want to do. But now they have I'm not a big fan of sliders because I don't know, is 100 means good, tough, hard for me, or going down is hard? Because sometimes when I do the stun meter, I have it going up to make it go slowly, to go down. Let the stun meter go down slowly. Yeah, it's a little confusing to me. We have 2K26 brings even more options for match setup this year in Universe. With the addition of our new setting and sliders, players will find a selection of matchmaking sliders that allow for modifications of values for match card. Sorting and scoring matchmaking bonuses can also be tweaked. For title matches, rivalry-specific match types, and more, as even seen below. For those who want to start from scratch, we've included options for clearing the default data such as superstar relationships, divisions, rivalries, and more. So in the defaults, it will show you all their rivalries that they had in the last year. Like, let's say Otis had a problem with American Made in 2025. In the game, it will say Otis had a problem with American Made. And I guess you could change that. And if you want to clear all that, you could clear all that and make a new Otis. Have new rivalries, have a new rivals, and all that stuff. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty good. So yeah. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now that's that. We have 18 minutes of video here. So ladies and gentlemen, we got some more interesting things about 2K26, and we will get to NXT. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard that you could do a bigger faction entrance. Right now, you only could do trio entrance. But there's factions that has 5 people, like Solo's MFTs. And the Judgment Day. Now you could do a big giant faction entrance. So that's going to be interesting to see what they have in store for that. They showed us a little bit about that. Speaking of the MFTs, JC Mateo and Tala Tonga will be in 2K26 as well. They're making their debuts in the game. But I think it's pretty cool for the faction because I like to make factions. I make the system ones, but they don't. I can't have 4 guys in the faction or in the entrance. I only do trios. And they have this default entrance for when you have 4 guys. And it's like, I think it's a Hurt Business one. And I'm not a big fan of it. So now you could do that, and I'm happy for that. And there's a thing that you could watch your universe mode. It's like spectating. But you could watch your whole universe mode. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to play my game. I don't really care for that. But we do have NXT to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We heard from Jacy Jayne and Soruka. We thought Zarya is done with Soruka because she says she's done with this friendship, she's done being used, and she told Soruka to go to hell. But now Jacy Jayne is talking trash to Soruka because everybody's talking about Soruka. She's better than Jacy Jayne. She's upset that she got taken out in the Royal Rumble because of Soruka. She was the last 3. Everything is always about Soruka. Soruka comes out and makes it clear that she is better than her. She says she's not trying to, but she is better, and she wants to take the championship. But Jacy Jayne says you're going to be all alone at next week because your partner doesn't want to be in your corner. Your best friend doesn't want to be in your corner. So something ticked off Jacy Jayne, so the Fatal Influence attacks Soruka. And the 3-on-1 beatdown was happening until Zarya comes out, and Zarya told the Fatal Influence, pick her up, and she wants to do a spear on Soruka. But when she was about to do the spear, she spears Fatal Influence. She got rid of the Fatal Influence, and ladies and gentlemen, Zaruka is still a team. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Blake doesn't have to worry about Jada Parker because she's suspended, and she has a neck injury. But she will be in the Speed title tournament that's happening next week for the women's. Because Robert Stone is trying to talk to Paula Hanley to get a tournament and try to get her a challenger. And Blake will be in the match against Thea Hale next week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Joe Hendry will be versing Ricky Sainz at March 7 at Vengeance Day. Joe Hendry attacked Ricky Sainz in the parking lot. And then he came out and he's talking trash to Ricky Sainz. And then Ricky Sainz came on the balcony and talking trash to Joe Hendry that he's saying you're making that title look bad and blah, blah, blah. And they made the match official. It's going to happen at Vengeance Day. Let's talk about the matches we have now. We have Kalani Jordan will be versing Lola Vice. Lola Vice has her hand in a cast because her hand is getting attacked multiple times by Kalani Jordan with a ladder, a drawer, and all that stuff. So, Lola Vice tried to not to punch. She tried to kick. It didn't work out because Kalani Jordan keeps attacking that hand. But at the end, Lola Vice was about to do her back fist, but Kalani moved and she punched a wall. The balcony wall that always gets broken every time somebody fights. Every match, somebody goes through that wall. So she tried to do the back fist. Her hand went through the wall, and Kalani Jordan gets the win because of that. She made her tap out because she was attacking the hand. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Tony D'Angelo versus Cutler James, one of the Dark State members. The winner of that match was Tony D'Angelo because he wants Dion Lennox. But Dion Lennox attacked Tony D'Angelo, and then Tony D'Angelo attacked Dion. James trying to get involved. He got taken out. Dion Lennox got attacked by Tony D'Angelo outside the ring, smashed into the steel steps, and even got scoop slam onto the steel steps. His leg was on top of the steel steps. And then Tony D'Angelo was trying to use the other part of the steel steps and crush the leg, but James pulled Dion Lennox out to make sure that he doesn't get his leg crushed. And then we have Swipe Right versus OTM versus The Calling versus Hank and Tank in a No One Contenders match for the tag team titles. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match was the Swipe Rights. They get the win. Congrats for them. They're getting a shot at the tag team titles. A lot happened in this match. But they will be getting their tag team title shot next week. We get a women's championship match next week. I think there's like 4 titles on the line, isn't there? Oh yeah, the speed title will be on the line. And there's another title will be on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Elio LaFour versus Eli Knight in the speed title tournament. These guys were doing a hell of a job. A lot of flippy-doos, a lot of craziness. But ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that match was nobody because the time went out. There was no winner. But Robert Stone made a unique way of the speed title. Next week, Jasper Troy will defend his championship against Elio LaFour and Eli Knight in a triple threat match. Because there's 3 guys in the match, it's going to be a 7-minute time limit. It's still going to be a speed title. That means you need a time limit. But it's going to be a triple threat. This never happened. It's always one-on-one matches. But Robert Stone likes to do unique matches. So that's going to be interesting to see. We have Ethan Page defending his North American title against Shiloh Hill. But Miles Bourne wants that title. But Shiloh Hill says, when I win this title, I'll give you a title shot. But Miles Bourne says it has to be Ethan Page. Shiloh is not happy about that. He thinks that Miles Bourne might cost him the match. But it wasn't Miles Bourne that cost him the match. It was Swipe Rights. And a concrete floor after he got a... I forgot the move was. I call it twist of paints. Ethan Page did the twist of paint on the concrete, and then he did it in the ring. He gets the win. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Miles Bourne comes... and then we had a 4-on-1 beatdown on Shiloh Hill. Ethan Page and the Swipe Right guys, Jackson Drake, Brad Baylor, and Ricky Smokes. Trying to remember their names. And then here comes Miles Bourne coming out, attacking everybody. And then when he got rid of the Swipe Right guys, he attacked Ethan Page, started punching him and trying to get his title shot. But Ethan Page is saying no. But Shiloh Hill slides a chair in the ring for Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne put Ethan Page's ankle in the chair and threatens to crush it to give him his title shot. He leaps. He did not slam his foot because Ethan Page says, okay, I will give you the title shot next week. Don't crush my foot. And then when Miles Bourne was about to walk away, Ethan Page said, I knew you would not do it. You don't have it in you. And then Miles Bourne did it. He crushed his ankle in the chair, but he still gets his title shot. If you guys enjoyed this video, I don't know if this is true. I don't know what's happening, but Ren Sinclair says no Quarter Catch crew will be in the game. We know Charlie Dempsey will be in the game. Whenever they announce he's in it, if he's on the roster reveal, or they're going to show us, like, on a mode that he's on, that you could put him in, like they did with my GM. They show some wrestlers. Even My Rise and the Showcase, they show some wrestlers. Charlie Dempsey might be in it, but we don't know. Or are we going to wait until the roster reveal? But Ren Sinclair might be in the game. So is Tavion Heights. I think Tavion Heights should be in the game because Miles Bourne in the game. And Charlie Dempsey will be in the game because he was in last year's game. And he's still in WWE. So, yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, Uri Connor's trying to get Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey still doesn't understand and doesn't know if he wants to join. And Connors will have a match against Kel Dixon next week. I believe next week. That's all me today. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow for AEW results. Tyler is out. Bye!